everyone. Happy Monday night, or as I more like to call it, Mental Monday. No one likes just saying Monday, so when we say Mental Monday, when we give it a name and a purpose, Monday's not so powerful in a negative way, right? Anyway, that's what we're doing here. I'm Cassidy Quinn. Welcome to my channel if you have never been here before. If you have been here every Monday, or at least most Monday nights when I do these Mental Mondays, you know this is the place where we talk about our brains, what we're thinking, what we're experiencing, what we're going through right now. Last week, the title was I had a sad weekend because I did. Nothing bad happened, nothing sad happened, knocking on wood so nothing happens moving forward. But I just had one of those weekends where my anxiety and depression kind of took over my brain. That was last weekend. If you're just joining and you missed the first 30 seconds, I'm talking about last week, okay? I'm filling in the new people that maybe weren't here last time. This weekend is what we're going to talk about this time. And my boyfriend, Tucker, was with me the entire weekend because that's the only person I'm not social distancing from in recent times. He is currently on a little social distancing bike ride because he had the day off today. I just finished up work, so I'm doing this live stream while he is not home. When he gets here, we're going to make dinner. That's kind of how it goes normally for these Mental Mondays. He almost joined so we could tell you about our adventure we went on this weekend, but instead he went on a bike ride. So, that's fine. He does sometimes need to social distance from me. He can't be around me every second of every day. I mean, he can because it's basically how it's gone the last 2 months. So let me say hi to everybody that's here. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Genevieve. Hi, Joseph. Hi, the Garage Gamer. Hi, Marcel. Hi, Scott. How are you all? If you would like to leave a comment, happy Memorial Day, by the way. So if you want to leave a comment, what you've been doing today, if you had a long weekend, what you did this long weekend. Hopefully you were all safe and healthy while you did any of those things. Of course, it is Memorial Day, like I just said, so this is the day we pay tribute and honor and remember those we have lost in the line of duty, the people that work so hard and are so brave to serve our country, and then unfortunately we lose them. Oh, what it and my phone's ringing right now. Tucker is calling me. I'm just trying to say something nice and heartfelt, and then Tucker is calling me. He has to know that I'm live streaming because I told him I would live stream while he was gone. What do? I can't answer it, right? See, this is how much I care about you guys. This is how devoted I am to you guys. I just ignored a call from my boyfriend, and hopefully he didn't have something important to ask me. He's also going to the grocery store while he goes on his bike ride so that we can make dinner. He'll call a second time. That's how it works, right? You call twice if you really need something, right? Please tell me that's how it goes. Anyway, so happy Monday. How was your weekend? What did you guys do this weekend? Oh, Garage Gamer says, what if he's in trouble? Nicole says, what is up? Scott says to call him just in case. Well, so here's the thing. We're playing phone tag. He called like 20 minutes ago. I missed his call, so I just called him back right before I started live streaming. Now he's calling me back. You guys will be the first to know what the exciting conclusion of this game of phone tag. It's so exciting. We did actually, however, have an exciting weekend. Please tell me what you did this weekend, how your weekend went. I had a long weekend, but not the way that most people had. I worked today, which was actually a nice, like, slow-paced work day because I mentioned to you guys on previous Mental Mondays, currently I am working for the digital team at KGW, the news station here in Portland that I work for. Normally at 7 p.m. I have a show called Tonight with Cassidy. Some of you may have watched it before. I don't know. Right now it's on hiatus due to the pandemic, understandably. You know how that goes. So I've been working on the digital team, some days making videos, some days just writing articles. Today I wrote an article about TikTok, which is my second article about TikTok in quarantine. So I guess I just write about TikTok now, and I don't hate it at all. Also don't hate TikTok. We can get to that later. But I didn't have today off, but like I was saying, it was kind of an easier work day, or like a slower paced work day because not as many people are working and not a lot of like breaking news happened, which was great. Thank you, people, for being safe on this holiday. And so it kind of went slower. It was nice. I didn't take a shower. I did take a shower yesterday, however, because Tucker and I went camping for the weekend, which eventually you guys will definitely see an entire video from this weekend because we went on a lot of awesome adventures, all wrapped up in one and all wrapped up in social distancing. I was talking about my anxiety, right? I had a very happy weekend mentally, which was probably because we went outside, we went and did something, we moved our bodies, it felt productive, it felt calming, it felt refreshing, rejuvenating. But my anxiety was acting up a little bit on our way there. Where we went was Paulina Peak, which is about an hour outside of Bend. Someday maybe I'll make a video of my first actual trip to Bend because I've never really been there because besides driving through. We stopped for takeout on Friday. Hey, my dad's here. Hi, Dad. I love you. I miss you. And my brother is here as well. Oh my gosh, are you guys like sitting together? Max wants to know if my plants survived. Someone else just asked if I've talked to my plants today. I haven't really talked to them. However, they did survive. Ruby Rubber Tree has some new leaves that have come out recently. I don't remember where they were last week, but I mean, come on. This leaf is like as big as my head. It's magic. And then these, I think I was telling you guys about these last week. My mom and I made some little baby ceramic pots for my little propagated pilea, however you say ya, babies. And they're doing okay so far. I don't know. They're very new in here, so they haven't they're not super stable. I don't know. This guy, I hope this guy will do okay, but he's totally just like loose in here. He has not grown any roots, but they look cute, and that's where we are, okay? So yes, plants survived while we were gone for a whole 2 days. So we went just outside of Bend, and when we were on our way there, I started getting a little anxious because everywhere we were driving on the freeway, those light up signs, they put text on there while you're driving. Everyone said, stay home, save lives, local trips only. And as someone who works for a news station, we have done so many stories over the past few weeks about do not just rush to the coast. Don't rush to Bend. Don't go to these places just because the restrictions start easing up and you can go there and have all the fun you want and stand close to people and do adventures. No, that is not how it goes. And so I was very nervous about being part of the problem, and I really did not want to get to where we were going to go camping and then realize there were too many people there and that we were the problem and that there was traffic and that people weren't social distancing and then, oh my gosh, there's an outbreak of coronavirus, a new outbreak. Numbers are going back up. Sorry, there's something in my eyeball right now. And oh gosh, now I am guilty of adding to that. I did not want to do that. So I kept asking Tucker because he was the one to make the plan for the weekend. Where are we going? Are you sure there won't be too many people? And we kept saying, at any point in this weekend, we can stop. We can turn around. When we get to the campsite, when we start our hike, when we get to the hot springs, if there are too many people, we will turn around. We will leave. And Tucker intentionally planned it to have us going places that wouldn't be crowded and that we were pretty sure would be okay. Max, you just asked, where is Tucker? Tucker is currently on a Mental Monday bike ride. He went on a bike ride. He's going to the grocery store, getting stuff for dinner. When he gets back, I'm going to be done live streaming, and we're going to have dinner together, and it's going to be lovely. So maybe he's sick of me because he had to camp with me all weekend, and he just needed to get away. That would be understandable. What's on my nose? Why is my dad saying what's on my nose? You know I can see myself, so you can't trick me. Is there something on my nose? Now I'm nervous there's something on my nose. Anyways, so we went to Paulina Peak and Paulina Lake, and I called this live stream, I said, doing the unknown safely. We've gotten through some of the safety part because we're still in the middle of a global pandemic. This is not the time to just, we went to a little grocery store in Bend yesterday, and I thought about going in and getting a coffee at the coffee shop, and then I realized there was a line down the block of cars, of people waiting to get coffee through the drive-thru, and then a line of 30 people standing right behind each other in person to get coffee. Last time I checked, getting coffee is great, but you don't want to die or kill people to get coffee. It's just weigh it out, it's not worth it. Not to take this lightly, but for real. Also not to blow it out of proportion, but we are still in the middle of a pandemic. please keep your social distancing, people. Don't go places if you don't need to, or if you haven't planned, to make sure you avoid a lot of other people. So where we went, because in Oregon, the uh, the campgrounds are closed, which is good because it was a beautiful weekend. It was a Memorial Day weekend. If the campgrounds were open, people would have just flooded there and people would have been packed in super close together. Not good. So the campgrounds are closed. However, Tucker discovered that you can do what is called dispersed camping, which I did not know. That's why this is going into the unknown. I had no idea what that was until this weekend. But basically, what it means, according to Tucker, is that the actual campgrounds, the official campgrounds, are closed, but you can camp just out in the National Forest Park land. And so we drove onto one of the Forest Service roads and found a spot where Tucker's truck could go off to the side and we could get it flat enough, and we just camped in the bed of the truck. Was it cold? Yes. It got down to like 27 degrees on Friday night when we got there, and it was very cold. But we had our sleeping bags, we had multiple layers of blankets, and Tucker had prepared and looked at the weather, and then I trusted Tucker, and we saw that it was not going to rain on Friday night. We had backup plans, like we had a tent, we had rain layers in case it started raining and we woke up in the middle of the night, but we were pretty confident that we'd be okay. And we were, except for the little layer of frost all over us when we woke up. Phew. So we made it through Friday night. Then we woke up on Saturday morning and we went hiking all the way to the top of Paulina Peak, which again is a little bit outside of Bend. I had never heard of it before this weekend, but Tucker had talked to some friends and talked through, okay, where could we go that would be not a super challenging hike, like something we can do safely. We're not going to hurt ourselves or like overexert ourselves, and not like the main places that everyone's going to go. So, oh my gosh, now it's crowded. So that's how we decided on this place. And so from where we parked, we could just walk down the Forest Service road, up the hill a little bit, did some bushwhacking, and then found the trail that we just started hiking on. Now we were hiking with our hiking shoes on, but we had backpacks with our skis, or my split board in my case, which is a snowboard that just breaks in half down the middle so your bindings can turn and you can walk up the hill on your board, but it's as skis and it's magic. So we had those attached to our backpacks. We're hiking up the mountain in like spring clothes with skis on our back, and we were hoping that at some point we would find enough snow to ski on. And we did. Like 2/3 of the way up the mountain, we saw enough snow. We put our skis on and skins and hiked up. That's what it looks like. It's my reenactment of it. Then we got to the top. We looked out at the beautiful top of a volcano. You could see a 360-degree view of all of the volcanoes all around Oregon, or a lot of them at least. I don't know how many there are. There are a lot of volcanoes around here, I'm learning. And there were only like 3 other people at the top of this mountain, and everyone was staying apart. And most people, or like half of the people, had masks on. We had our masks on. And whenever we passed anyone on the trail, made sure to separate. There were a couple people that were trying to get too close to us, and we were like, excuse me, we need to go off the path, get out of here. And eventually we skied down the mountain, and we had tuna sandwiches on the top. It was lovely. Again, eventually you guys will see this entire vlog from this weekend, but you might not see it here because this is top secret information, okay? But Tucker and I are thinking of starting another YouTube channel where we just do like adventure stuff, okay? We don't know what we're gonna call it. We're gonna have a meeting about it this week, but stay tuned for that. Maybe that's where that video will go, because I have like multiple adventure videos, not messages, that that have not gone on the internet yet, that I haven't had time to edit yet, and maybe they'll go in a new place. Is that a good idea? Do you guys like that idea? What should we call our adventuring YouTube channel? I can't remember if I've mentioned it here or not, but we bought an adventure van a couple months ago that we're attempting to redo and make cool and adventure-y. And in honor of this weekend's adventure, I wore my Wild AF Wild AF t-shirt, because when we got done with the weekend, we got home last night, Tucker was like, do you feel wild? Do you just feel like a wild woman? You were out in the wilderness. We were safe. We had fun. We were tired. We found a hot springs on Paulina Lake. when we were done skiing on Saturday. Then we camped somewhere else on Saturday night, and then we got up yesterday morning and we drove back to Portland, and here we are today. And it was lovely. It really, oh, hello, Silent Koala, and hello, Lane. I'm glad you're alive. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Good evening, Silent Koala, since you're just tuning in. Oh, Cassidy Adventures. I like it, Scott. I keep trying to get Tucker on board with Quintucky, which would be better if we like lived in Kentucky, but I just think Quintucky has a good ring to it and it's entertaining. So we'll see. If you think of any ideas, let it marinate. You can get back to me. But it was so much fun, and like I said, I called this video going into the unknown because I totally let Tucker plan the weekend, and when you let someone else plan something, surprises are great, but if you're letting someone plan something that could that where your skills matter, where the conditions matter, where there are so many different decisions being made that could be wrong. I mean, you're just going off of one person, and human error is a thing. Obviously, I like to think Tucker knows everything, and he's always right. He thinks the same of me, clearly. But you want to make sure that you know what's going on, that you know enough that you are also able to judge the situation and say, hey, I saw that the weather wasn't going to be nice. Maybe we should put up our rain fly, or it looks like these snow conditions are really icy. Are you sure we should hike up this way? Whatever. So this time I didn't do as much due diligence as I would like myself to when Tucker is planning trips for us, but it was Wednesday of last week, and Tucker said, hey, do you want to go do something this weekend? Could you get Friday off? This was on Wednesday. Luckily, my boss was very nice. I asked her on Thursday, and she gave me Friday off, and it worked well, and it was lovely. What was I going to say? Oh, Lane says you have an appointment with a specialist on Wednesday. Let me know how it goes. I hope you are feeling okay. Scott says, every time I say the word unknown, yes, Ellie starts belting Into the Unknown from Frozen 2. I love, that's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful movie. Into the Unknown. That could be like the theme song for this video. Ellie, please record that. We'll edit it in. It'll be great. Now I just have that song stuck in my head. What I've had stuck in my head most of the day, all of the days lately, is just random TikTok songs, because I've fallen down the hole of TikTok. I've been trying to post there on TikTok maybe once a day, but obviously not while we were gone this weekend. This was the first time in so long that I just didn't look at my phone all the time. I don't know if you guys have been the same lately in quarantine, but I do not go very long without looking at some type of electronics. And obviously that's not new for me. I've always loved social media. I've always been a little addicted to my phone, but it's even worse in quarantine because like I'm not going anywhere. Nothing is breaking up my day, and nothing is saying don't look at my phone because you're doing this. Even when I'm working out, it's on my phone or the computer. I'm watching a video. So it's all technology. That's how we're all connecting. And so you kind of have to be on your technology if you want to connect with anybody, but then you don't want to be on your technology because you want to be able to connect with yourself. And that's what I felt like I was able to do this weekend. We were out in the cold with the fresh air, in the sunshine, which was so lucky. And it was just a lovely time. I got like a little bit of sunburn on my nose underneath because we were hiking and skiing on snow, obviously. And so the sun came down, it reflects from below, and then you get sunburn under your nose. But we made sure to put sunscreen on. We were good. So again, going into the unknown, but safely. That's what we like to do. We put sunscreen on, we bring our masks, we wear our masks if we go into anywhere. We stay at least 6 feet away from other people, and we plan ahead to avoid other people. And if you get into a situation where you can't do that, you turn around, you get out of there, okay? They're starting all these things, these contact tracers, right? You guys have probably heard about contact tracing, which is basically they've signed up these people in, at least in Oregon, in different counties in Oregon, different people of different races and ethnicities and backgrounds and blah blah blah, and then you take a coronavirus test every day and you report how you're feeling and your temperature and blah blah blah. You don't want to be, and then so then they can try to figure out like who got who sick and where it started from, and they're literally tracing the contacts between people, okay? You do not want to be the one in a news story that I have to write or one of my coworkers has to write and I have to proofread it or something about how you went on an adventure and you stood too close next to people and sat in a hot springs with 25 other people bumping shoulders and bumping butts together, and now there's an outbreak and your picture's on the TV or on the homepage of khw.com, right? You don't want to be that person. Lane, you're delivering food. You are essential. You are essential, and thank you so much. I saw a TikTok today. Of course it was a TikTok. This lady was like, before COVID-19, and like ordering food online. It said like it was like popped up with different words like lazy, selfish, fat, like all these things that are associated with ordering food all the time. And then it said during the pandemic, and it was, and then she came out with a cape. She's like superhero, small business supporter, like restaurant, saving the restaurant industry. It was like, yes, you can feel like a hero that you are delivering food, and we can pretend to feel like a hero because we're ordering food. But really the heroes are the ones out there bringing us the food, and, you know, the nurses, the doctors, the frontline workers, obviously. Hopefully that goes without saying. Steve, you just said 2020 bumping butts. Bumping butts 2020. Should I make a t-shirt that says that before the election? Donnie says, speaking of Disney, what do you think of that company owning 20th Century Studios? Now I'm trying to remember exactly what you're talking about. Is it like Disney and TikTok? I know the CEO of Disney streaming just like went to TikTok, or maybe the opposite. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't speak to this topic if I don't know what I'm talking about. I would love to know though, if you guys want to leave a comment, what you did this Memorial Day weekend, and how things are going around you. Like, have you guys started going out any more places? Have you been looking out your windows and you like live on a main street and you can see what people are doing? I am very glad that I live in Portland, which some people are complaining in Oregon because Multnomah County, the county that I live in, maybe some of you guys live here too, is not starting reopening yet. Like, we haven't gotten to phase 1, and some people are very mad about that because they just want to go get their hair done and go to the bars and, of course, open up their own businesses. I 100% understand that. But I, as someone that does not have a business, like a storefront, I am glad that Portland is not rushing to open up and that people are supposed to stay home and that we're not giving people all the options of go get your hair, go get your everything. I think I personally am grateful for that. I'm grateful that the officials, that our governor and everybody is taking this seriously and trying to move slowly and not rush it, because I don't want people to get sick. I want people to be safe, and I want all of you to be safe as well. So hopefully you agree. Hopefully you guys are still wearing your masks. I will say, Tucker and I finally got to the point of quarantine that we ran out of toilet paper. So I found 4 rolls at Safeway the other day, and then we stopped at Tucker's aunt's house in Bend yesterday. And we just stood outside. We didn't go in the house. We just stood outside in a circle with everybody, like 8 feet apart. And we just said hi. And then they brought us out 3 rolls of toilet paper. And then we left. And it was lovely. Marcel says, Hobby Lobby is open already. Sigh, yes. I would agree with you. I love doing arts and crafts as much as the next quarantine person. However, I don't need to go get those things at the store. I've been enjoying curbside pickup, contact-free delivery. I'm spending less time in a store. Like, if you can do curbside pickup or get delivery, like you spend so much less time. You don't have to go into the store. And that's great. You might only leave with the groceries that you really need because you didn't just like stand and walk around all the aisles. Like, I don't know about you guys right now, but I've been making a lot less impulse buys at the grocery store because I don't sorry, my hand's itchy and I'm losing my train of thought. Because I want to get in and out of the store fast because I can see that there are people waiting in line outside. So I go in there, I'm like, okay, I got my list, ready, go. We're conquering, we're gonna get everything, and then I'm out. Like, see how fast I can go. Um, and then because there are people waiting outside, and a lot of times there'll be someone standing by the door, kind of looking like, oh, are you leaving? Are you leaving? Are you leaving? And so I want to leave and get out of there, and I think that's great. So, yeah, Lane said you must love Instacart. Yes. And Tucker and I were sick the first couple weeks of the stay-home orders, and so we ordered our groceries at that point because we didn't want to like go out into the world with germs and things. After that, we have been going to the grocery store, but we've been making sure to wear our mask when we go, only having one of us go at a time from the household. And yes, trying to go in and out quickly so that other people can get into the store. Because you don't want to be the person that like makes everyone wait outside for another hour because you wanted to read the description of every single cereal box or something, you know? But I also know when it comes to Instacart and like grocery deliveries, there are people that really cannot go to the stores right now, the immunocompromised people, anyone that can't physically get to the store. And so in mine and Tucker's opinion, we're going to keep going to the stores for ourselves safely and let the people who really need the delivery get their delivery. But whatever you do for you, as long as you're being safe and protecting all the people around you, that's great. That's perfect. So, to wrap this up, you're all wonderful. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're staying healthy and sane. And I hope you had a lovely weekend, whether it was a long weekend for you or not. I would highly recommend going outside if you're not feeling great. And then also kind of checking in with yourself when you do decide to go somewhere, go out, do something, whether you're going to the grocery store or whether you're going on a run around the neighborhood or whether you're going on a hiking adventure. Make sure you keep checking in with your brain and your body. Is this safe? Are there too many people around? How am I feeling about this? Because it can be a huge thing. You can feel a lot of anxiety when these restrictions start opening up and people start flooding to places. When we were driving back from Bend yesterday, I said to Tucker, after we saw all those people waiting in line for coffee way too close together, and again, we did not go there because we avoided that. I said to Tucker, I was like, I'm not ready for the world to start opening back up. I'm not ready for this. I personally, like, even if the town is ready, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for all these people. I'm not ready to do this. And he said, well, here's the thing. Even if they ease up all the restrictions, you don't have to go back to normal. You don't have to go back to that. It's just because all these, like, if all the events all of a sudden started happening again and all these big crowds and I was feeling anxious about that I don't have to go. It is always your choice. You can always, and anything, he said, anything that you have enjoyed in this quarantine time, you can continue in moving forward. I can take more time to go on walks. I can go outdoors more, and like you can take anything that you like from this time and keep doing it even when we get through this time, which will obviously be great news to all of us. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Let me make sure I didn't miss any more comments before we wrap up. Oh my gosh, a silent koala. You said my friend's mom passed away this morning, losing her battle to cancer. I wish I could give her a hug. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry to anyone who has lost someone ever, obviously, but especially in these times when you can't give people hugs, and that is so weird. And so sad, so heartbreaking. I keep reading and watching news stories about people whose loved ones are getting treated for COVID in the hospital, and you can't even go say bye to them. You can't go give them a hug because you have to keep them safe, but also keep yourself and everyone around you safe. And that is so sad. And I look forward to the days when we can get over this. or get through this and on the other side of this, for the most part. Obviously, like I said, I am not ready for everything to go back to normal, and I don't think the world is ready. I don't think testing and numbers and everything is ready for us all to go back to normal. But again, you don't have to rush it any more than you want to. And I think that is great. That we're actually, even though we're not in control, like the world's going crazy, all these things are happening, people are getting sick, we're not in control, but you are in control of what you're gonna do and what you think is safe. Just like on our adventure this weekend, Tucker kept checking in. Okay, if you can't make it to the peak, if you don't want to hike anymore, that's okay. We also kept telling ourselves that at least every mile we would stop, we would drink some water. Every 2 hours we would put sunscreen on, and every time we drank water we had a little bit of a snack just to make sure, okay, are we good? Do we need to turn around? Do we need to take a longer break? What do you need? Just to make sure we're doing okay. So that is how we should all be treating every day, even if we're not on adventure hiking up to the top of a volcano. Just say, hey, how am I doing? Are we good? Do I need to stop? Do I need to drink some water? Do I need a snack? Do I need to get a new mask on? Does that make any sense? I hope so. I love you all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this Monday night. It has definitely helped my day. I hope it was a nice nightcap to yours. I'm gonna go make some dinner, and I'll be back in a few days. Subscribe to this channel, give this a thumbs up if you haven't yet. I'll be back in a few days with another video, which I'm trying to think of what videos have I shot but not edited, or what videos am I gonna shoot? I don't know. Stay tuned in a few days for some kind of edited video. Thank you, Donnie. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Wyatt. Oh, seeing sports. Yes, we definitely want sports. Thank you, Sydney, Steve, Scott, Silent Koala. Thank you guys for being socially distant but hanging out with me. It's been wonderful, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!